UK boxing blogger coming right back at you. Right, gonna get to the serious part of a great fight weekend. James Kirkland versus Canelo Alvarez. What a great fight we've got to look forward to this weekend. I cannot wait. But first of all, I'm going to just quickly press on with a little mention to the UK boxing scene coming back tonight. We got Matthew Macklin, the return of Matthew Macklin after a devastating loss to Sebastian Highlander. It was a bit of a shock over in Ireland in the summer. I personally think Macklin should stay retired. What's the point? He's got a bit of a cannon for. He's got like an opponent to knock out this weekend. If he doesn't do that, Chris Eubank knocked this guy out. Chris Eubank Jr. He's been knocked out in the first round in his last fight. Anytime he stepped up to any sort of title level, he gets knocked out. If Macklin struggles to KO someone like this, what's the point? I see what's the point in a way. If Macklin gets taken out in the way he did last time, he's lost every big fight, he's been in some wars, what's the point of doing it to yourself anymore? He's got a nice little gym over in Marbella. A lot of people like to go over there and train. It's like the place to go and train at the moment. It's not like the wild card, but it's like Britain's own kind of wild card somewhere in the Spain, where like all the UK fighters like to go and have a little bit of a training camp. Got some good trainers over there. Got a lot of good things going over there apparently, and it's well publicised with IFL having it sponsoring their videos sometimes and that. So I don't know why he needs to carry on fighting, man. Matthew Macklin, whether you take this guy out in a round or not, what's the point of carrying on? That's my honest opinion on that. But I'll be there and I'll be supporting Matthew Macklin tonight. Well, I won't be there, but I'll be there in front of the TV watching it tonight. Anthony Joshua, big shout out to the future heavyweight champion of the world. That's UK Boxing Blogger's prediction. He made that prediction years ago before AJ even had a professional fight, once he'd signed a contract with Eddie Hearn. Luke Campbell was going through some personal problems and that at the moment with his dad. He's back trying to get sharp. So we've got some great fighters on the card, and I cannot wait to see it. All ready for the May 30th card, where Gradovic will be fighting Lee Selby, which I think Lee Selby's going to take him to pieces, become one of the new stars and put himself in the featherweight division sweepstakes with Walters and Lomachenko. Cannot wait to see it. Gary Russell Jr. And then you have Lee Selby. And the American fight fans, when you see this guy, you're just going to be super impressed with him. He's a boxer, puncher. He's got all the skills, speed, slickness, and he's got, when he shows that aggressive streak in him, he looks $1 million. Sometimes he can be a bit boring, like in some of his fights where he's too cautious. But this guy is going, as the levels go up, he steps it up, no end. If you don't know him, the fight that put him on like real recognition, there was lots of fights beforehand, but when he knocked out Stephen Smith with a brutal punch, and Stephen Smith was very durable and was suspected to win that fight over in the UK, high level fighter, like high in the rankings in the super featherweight division for the WBC strap. Go check that out, guys, and then go and check the way to destroy Joel Bronca, and you might get a clearer sort of impression of the guy before he fights on Gradovic if you haven't seen him. Right, so get on to the main event. My main course meal for the weekend for boxing is Canelo Alvarez versus James Kirkland. I remember Kirkland coming up as a golden boy, knockout artist. The story with him and Aaron Wolf, to the point where like he's everything I like in a fighter. Anybody that reminds me of a seek and destroy guy like Mike Tyson, UK boxing blogger fucking goes mad for. you know, he got to the point, like, proved he could do the distance with a tough guy like Ozzy Duran. He was knocking everybody else out. Goes to 10 rounds with Ozzy Duran. I know Ozzy Duran had some good victories over here against some real good fighters. Was always on the UK fight circuit. The American audience might not have appreciated that win by Kirkland, but I did. Then he gets the biggest win of his career at that point as Julio. He did get another decent win in there. I haven't studied this, guys. But then he starts getting gun charge problems, weapons, felony charges, whatever you say in America. That's where his career just starts spiraling a little bit, man. He was completely active before that. Then he comes back out for a couple of years or a year and a half or whatever, has a couple of quick knockouts, then he gets touched up by Arshida. Like, don't get me wrong, no one knocks that dude out unless you're Triple G. Like, you go look at that Aishida's record, man. He's fighting heavyweights now and he's still not getting knocked out. The only guy who ever knocked him out is Triple G. He's been in there with Paul Williams, he's been in there with loads of guys, Kirkland himself. I expect like some tough, I expect him to be tough and be able to last some with Kirkland. I never thought he could get touched up, especially at that stage as well. He's gone on to prove how tough he really is after the Kirkland fight, but even more so. But I never expected him to be able to touch up Kirkland like that. I don't know what happened. It was like a freak punch. It was not even like a strong punch. So like, I don't know if I can ever lose that impression from a fighter. But Kirkland's come back. Angulo, fucking, even Glenn Tapia just taking the guy's shots. So it's like, how the fuck can he take these guys' shots but get touched up by Ashida? It makes no fucking sense, man. There's some logical explanation for all this. But either way, you know, there will always be that little lingering bit of doubt for UK boxing blogger just because of that. It may be a little bit unfair. Canelo Alvarez, he's going to be there to fight. He will stand his ground. He'll try pressure James Kirkland back. James Kirkland's going to be lethal, and he's going to be coming out setting to destroy Canelo. It's going to make for a great fight. We're going to test that Mexican spirit of Canelo Alvarez this weekend, I believe, and I'm going to go away from my heart and call with my brain. I'm going to call Canelo to win, take out James Kirkland mid to late rounds, purely for the fact that I think that will happen because Kirkland's just not been in the ring too much. He might have lasted a little bit longer. I think the fire will burn out before he gets Canelo, and Canelo's counter-punching and shots to the bodies will start to wear him down. And Canelo's been a little bit more aggressive after the Floyd victory loss. He's sort of like realised what he has to do. He can't throw the single punches. He's putting punches and bunches together. But it's going to be a cracking fight, and we're all going to love it. This is UK Boxing Blogger out. Let me know what you think, guys, if you're excited for the UK fight card this weekend. I know it's not the biggest, but it just gets the UK fight scene back on the scene. Peace.